Yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to go in there. Okay. What about the room full of blood?
What's going on?
This hallway. It's kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. Yeah, cool. Alright, can't go into the bloody room. Can't go into the morgue either. So I guess I'll look for the stairs. And those would be behind me. I can't go there, so the only room I can go into is this one. Wait, is this the bloody room? I forgot which one was covered in blood. No, it wasn't this one. Okay. This is another manga, laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Wasn't the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga, too? That's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little bit more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited, Danganronpa 0. Is there a Danganronpa 0? With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. It was more than 13. Let me just tell you. What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He's seriously pissing me off. But ultimate hope? Nagito mentioned that before, too. But it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, he simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. He said that the Reserve Corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? It's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Okay. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up, Contradictions just keep piling up! Anyway, let's move on. Can I leave the 5th floor now, or am I stuck here? I'm still stuck on the 5th floor. So, I guess I'll keep looking for a room I can go into. Can I go in the morgue yet? It appears I can go in the morgue, actually. I guess technically it was the bio lab. What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here! It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. There's another manga just lying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something light. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped I was right. A story about a creepily drawn character who gets involved in horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Nah, they just hired Junji Ito. Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with the deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain, just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by a high school student progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. Oh crap, my computer's got despair! The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful event, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant, all my social links, what's happened to them?
No way! Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
would enjoy reading something like this.
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga! A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough, what is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair! That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, we just heard this. Come on, blah, 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 blah. He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world, so we'll want to stay on the island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope, just like now. Perhaps... No, that's definitely it. It's got an achievement called Halfway There. I sincerely hope it doesn't mean halfway through the game, but I'm not going to check, because I think that would spoil things. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this Ultimate Despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people? But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're just high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called the Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room, but there's a Monokuma under the table! Alright. Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Oh, I mean, what room is open? That room's still glitchy. How about the garden? Hang on, I'll check the hallway. Still blocked. Oh, this room's open. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Hi, Fuyuhiko.
Jeez.
When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way.
Damn right.
I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Fine.
Hiya.
Why, hello, Hajime! I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here?
No.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Can you just hurry up and tell me what you need to tell me? It's about a key piece of information you've been waiting so long for.
What?
Surprise! It's about Ultimate Despair. Huh? Ahem. Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, feared person alive. A high school girl?
yes, indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima?
Hey.
As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs. There was really one horrible person in that... Oh, excuse me. There was one really horrible person in that group.
Don't fuck with me.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place. So, she even recruited people... This is still not Monokuma. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat?
Huh?
Then what was their purpose?
Huh?
What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs, one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. All to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do. There is no way something that crazy is possible.
well, what?
Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days?
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean the final days? What happened to the Reserve Department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? Is that me?
Damn it.
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair? Junko Enoshima? Huh, it doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko Enoshima is already dead. Huh? Ultimate? How does he know that? Oh wait, he read the book, didn't he? The little, like, file on the previous, on the first game. I was like, wait a minute, was this some kind of wham line that Fuyuhiko knows about Junko? But no, there was a book on it. These characters all knew about it, if they read it. Alright, I need to get some water real fast. My voice is going. I'll be right back. Okay, water required. Voice is doing better. Let's move on. Junko Enoshima is already dead. What does that mean? Why does Fuyuhiko know about that? I guess maybe that wasn't in the book. Fuyuhiko, explain yourself, sir. Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Enoshima is already dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the killing school life? I guess we didn't have a book on the end of it. Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Well, yeah.
That's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For a manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead.
Like...
It turns out the killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy? And she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing?
So...
The students of Hope Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up! But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then, Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter.
Bastard!
Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit!
If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? Killing school life, okay. And update on Junko. Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh? What? Do you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, I'll just raise the flag. Flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that?
Ooh.
One step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again.
Well now.
I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside.
Yeah.
I'll raise them flags like crazy. I guess I have to talk to him again? What a surprise! Do you want to hear about the Ultimate Despairs again? No, I really don't need you to.
Hey!
Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days, it was actually a term used to describe Junko Enoshima, the original Ultimate Despair. He just started all on his own. Wait. We already get through this. Let's just leave. Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided I'm not going to be surprised. That's right, there's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Okay. I'm having trouble moving for some reason. I can't remember the layout of this floor. Akane, help! Akane's twitching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened?
Based on my gut
Well, you know,
feeling.
it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who?
So,
I don't know. It's just my gut, after all.
It's just my gut.
But still, her gut's pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct this time again. Okay. Are there any rooms we can go into? Yes, how about the piano room? Music room, whatever. Hello. This looks like the music room. I feel like I can see something strange. It looks like it's some sort of monument? Why would there be a monument in the music room? And it's not just that. The mark engraved into the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up! I kinda guessed that, but I feel like most people did. What is this? Words are floating in the air! This is like a hologram, right? The floating letters are forming a sentence. It looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe their group can go that far without Junko and Oshima rallying them. In a worst-case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we are still investigating the details of their origins, and haven't located them either. We will continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received a report on the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy? 15 students? Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe... I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories that we've lost. Okay. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by graduates of Hope's Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. No. As long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma. If he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who were carrying out the will of Junko and Oshima and making us all go through this. I don't know why I keep flip-flopping on how to pronounce her last name. I just can't remember what they did in the first game. I think they said Enoshima. Also, this caught my attention in the email, too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island, mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on this island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow, there's still so many mysteries. Alright, sorry, I gotta chug water to get through this. I want to finish this game tonight, so I'm like powering through when I would normally take a break and rest my throat. If it gets too bad, I'll stop. I'm not gonna hurt myself. Oh yeah, what about my pet? Oh no! I froze the game. Oh, so much poop. I guess it will grow in 28 steps. I've been giving it presents, so that's why its hope meter is full. Someone told me in the comments that that's how you fill the hope meter. Teacher's Lounge! This feels different from a classroom.
Maybe...
It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room has that kind of stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that.
Well...
More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy going to be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard, in large letters, and just below that are names I've seen before. Why does that picture of Hiyoko look so much older? There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hiyoko Saionji is written there. What is this newspaper? Okay, wait a minute, what? What is this? It says Miss Hiyoko Saionji. This can't mean the same Hiyoko, right? I mean, the Hiyoko we knew... She was much smaller and looked childlike. She was pretty much her defining feature. But the photo in this newspaper, in a way, I can see the resemblance to Hiyoko, but her height and her figure, it's too different from the Hiyoko we knew. What does this mean?
Huh?
This lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hiyoko's older sister or something? No, it says Hiyoko Saionji here. Oh, then Hiyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name? An older sister with the same first and last name?
I mean...
That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it for yourself. That's not Hiyoko. But did you ever hear her mention an older sister?
Man...
Well, it's not like I was that close to her or anything.
Wrong!
She doesn't have an older sister. Hiyoko is the Saionji family's only daughter. If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? Nah, there's still too much of a resemblance.
What are you
That's
saying?
Hiyoko! Huh?
Of course not!
What are you saying? Hiyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap looking like that.
Well...
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt? What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt.
Today,
Well,
I'm feeling
regardless,
white.
all the clues I've provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair.
What's going on?
What the heck? This is the truth? If this is the truth, then the Hiyoko in this newspaper... Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how could there be a photo of a grown-up Hiyoko when she's already dead? Why does this even exist?
Hey,
Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh?
this is bad.
It says subjects. Maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Hiyoko's body? Ah! What am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it sound messed up. What experiment? Some kind of experiment. It would mean we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. But what kind of experiment was it?
What's going on?
Oh, what's going on? It better not have anything to do with time travel. List of subjects has been added to the truth bullets. Let's see. An extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says, Hope's Peak Academy founder Izuru Kamakura? The founder of Hope's Peak Academy? And this name, Izuru Kamakura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Damn it, another mystery. The Academy's founder has been added to the Truth Bullets section. I'm so confused. There's no hands on that clock either. Oh, we've got another floating email. There are letters floating in the air like the music room earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same one from earlier. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they've lost Junko Enoshima, the fact remains they are incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps there is still a leader on par with Junko Enoshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they are discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean this is in order to kill them? That doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess that's understandable. If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, it's pretty much all-out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily.
Okay, with this, you've totally raised all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime! You shall now go on to the next stage.
Next stage? We're slowly working our way back down. Damn it, not again! The hallway's different from last time. I guess when that flag Monokuma mentioned is raised, I moved to a different hallway than the last. But how can he do that? No, now is not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about it is just gonna waste my energy. Alright, let's see what's on this floor. This is the one that had the art area, right? Oh hey, pet thing. Wrong button. It has evolved into a cocoon. It still poops. Okay. 97 more steps to go. What rooms can I go into on this floor? Yes, the rec room. Home of protein! Let's see... There's a billiard table, a dartboard, and a shelf lined with magazines. It's hard to think a room like this actually exists inside a school. It certainly doesn't float normally. It's a file with Hope's Peak Academy's seal on it. It says confidential. That means this is a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously Monokuma's responsible. Anyway, I need to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Hope's Peak Academy has conducted rigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of our labor to further our true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation in providing the ultimate education. This plan has been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms, and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the word, true hope, left a strong impression on my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Hope's Peak Academy was behind something like that? I don't really get it, but there's something about these words. True hope, huh? Kinda sounds like educational eugenics. This hologram again. What does this one say? It looks like another email passage. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they were all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we are unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported some are wounded, so it seems certain they survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others, so we have decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there are still no solid leads regarding this matter, and we have no new information to report. We will continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. Okay. It says here that they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means we should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on this island? Well, I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set all this up.
What's this?
My, Hajime, if you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse.
It's your fault! What is this hologram thing anyway?
Hey!
It's exactly what it looks like. They're the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get them.
You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents.
No!
Well, who cares about me anyway? That's not important at all.
There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything to what's happening right now. What is that? Oh, that's the scoreboard and the dartboard. I guess we'll leave. What the heck? It looks like I'm in a different hallway again. I'm pretty much used to it by now, but even so. What is this space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, this is just totally disconnected from reality. This is very confusing. Hello, blurry ghost of Akane.
Smells.
It's close. It's very close. Someone is coming. Akane's twitching her nose and examining her surroundings.
Based on my gut feeling.
They're definitely real close. At least that's what my gut's telling me. Then answer this with your gut. Is it an enemy or an ally? Let's see. My gut feeling is...
Well,
They're both!
Yo!
He's right. They're both. Both? What do you mean?
You.
I don't know any details. It's just my gut after all. Well, that's true, I guess. Okay. We're looking for a door that we can open. Like this one. To the library! The Byakuya Togami reading room. This must be a library. Monokuma probably left something here too. I should hurry up and find it. Paper, books... Is it just the email? Okay. This hologram again? It must be another one of the Future Foundation's emails. I should read it. There's no doubt there's another clue. To the Future Foundation 14th Division. Makoto Naegi! Where are you guys? What are you doing right now? What you're doing is a serious act of treason. Do you understand? Why are you protecting the remnants of despair? It should be abundantly clear to you how dangerous it is to keep these people alive. Stay calm and think about this carefully. You guys are being lied to. Think carefully about what's important to bring the light of hope to the world. The 6 of you joined the Future Foundation because you agreed with our ideals, right? The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy you survived and cooperated with recovering your memories. Immediately return the remnants of despair to our headquarters. Unless we eliminate them, the tragedy will never end. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. What does this mean? This email suggests that someone was trying to let the remnants of despair escape. This email is addressed to Makoto Naegi. But he's with the Future Foundation, right? Then why was he trying to protect the remnants of despair? Did he betray the Future Foundation? Email to Makoto Naegi has been added to the truth bullets. Now that's interesting. Interesting. Alright, let's leave the room and find out what floor we're gonna get teleported to now. Oh, I guess we're in the same floor. There must just be a new room I can go to. Like this classroom. Oh, it's the flashy one again. The laundry room. Wait, this wasn't here before, was it? Huh? Didn't I walk into a classroom? I don't really get it, but this looks like the laundry room? There's no use worrying about it, but I was in a school and now suddenly I'm in a laundry room. I can't look at the magazine. Look at the PC. This looks like a tablet computer. It looks like the power is on too. Is this the next clue? I picked up the tablet and immediately started examining it. Neo World Program. This word, Neo World, that's 2 words. I seem to recall hearing it and seeing it a few times already. The Neo World Program has another name. Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. The Neo World Program is built with the most recent psychotherapy technology and administrative software. To develop the Neo World Program, individuals such as the Ultimate Programmer, the Ultimate Neurologist, and the Ultimate Therapist were among the many talented people whose research results were utilized. By mounting a device to the cranium, the Neo World Program allows its subjects to experience a synthetic virtual world. Aha! Proof! Additionally, the Neo World Program has another feature. It can replace memories formed in the real world with information contained in the synthetic virtual world. Therefore, it is possible to undo trauma sustained in the real world through the use of the virtual world. However, this device is for psychotherapeutic purposes only. Any other use is expressly forbidden. Though it is highly effective in treating brainwashing, abusing the device risks total personality destruction. Thus, extreme care must be exercised when operating this program. Slowly, everything around me turned black. Synthetic? Virtual world? Program? A feeling of emptiness, like everything is being tainted. A feeling of weakness, like the world is collapsing beneath my feet. Everything is starting to feel meaningless. The desperate attempts, the sad goodbyes, the conflicts, the trust I felt until now, it's all disappearing, until all I feel is despair. Ah! I screamed loudly, as if I was confirming the sound of my own voice. There's no way I can accept this. I am starting to accept that there's no way something as crazy as this actually exists.
Nice!
You gotta raise the flags more in order to clear my character route. Now then, despair is waiting for you.
Impossible. This is impossible. It's all made up. Everything is all made up. Made up? Including me too? Neo World program, huh? Okay.
Hiya!
How are you doing? Did you enjoy the killing school trip? By the way, do you guys remember the speech I made at the beginning? From this point on, I promise you a world that truly deserves to be called a game. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Guys are the only ones watching. Oh, you guys are the only ones watching this who can save them. The end of the world is nigh. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it heart-throbbing? Look forward to it.